friends, welcome back. My name is Terry and this is my daily vlog, and today it is on the weekly topic of Weight Watchers. So let's just jump right in it. I just got done recording 30 some minutes of the daily vlog, so I gotta get this done and get this up for you guys. So it is, if you want to follow along and you have the Weight Watcher app, under your profile picture, if you tap on that, anyways it is on my iPad, and then scroll down to it says discover content, click on that and it will say weekly topic, and then tap on that, and then you can always follow along. And I'll try to get these up way before you see it today, but I completely forgot and we were gone and yada yada yada. So the first one says how to take charge of unhelpful thoughts. It says, after a setback, you can't always control what pops into your mind. Resist entering the chat and start a new conversation instead. It says, try this. Identify an unhelpful thought. Pay attention when your brain starts telling you something that's less than supportive. It's like, oh my goodness. Says, their example is, I ate all those cookies and now my week is ruined. Why even bother tracking? Hello? How many of us have done that before? Raise your hand. On both issues. It says, create some distance. Imagine that thought as a cartoon character and you're just relaying the script. There's that thought. It says, this week is a wash and I should give up. But when we're in the moment, do we even think about that? I know I don't. It says, commit to act. Decide which actions you'll take based on your goals, not what that single thought dictates. Example, I don't have to quit. I'll make and track, write it down, a low points dinner tonight and snack on 0 point foods. In reality, is that what you're doing? I'd say the majority of the time, after I get that pity party done in my head and, oh, what's the use and yada, 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 then I'll sit there and say, okay, what, you might, it's already in your belly. You might as well track it. The good Lord above knows. You don't have to tell anybody else, but the good Lord above knows. You know. Your spouse might know if you have a spouse there. Your cat or dog might look at you and know. They probably don't know unless you shared it with them. Anyways, it says, let's dive a little deeper. Ever try to quietly evict unhelpful thoughts from your brain? Yeah, it doesn't always work, especially during stressful or busy times when more of these unwelcome guests tend to move in. What does work? Accepting them merely as thought, not as true statements. That's a good thing. That it's just a thought. It's nothing true statement about what you're thinking. Then taking back some power by inviting in other action-oriented thoughts. This approach is critical on a weight loss journey because what you think often drives what you do. So if thoughts or failure or quitting go unchecked, you could find yourself doing just that. But when you separate yourself from what your brain is saying, you have space to consider the facts and alternatives, like the fact that setbacks and fresh starts are normal. And praise the good Lord that those are all normal, because I have setbacks and I have fresh starts a lot. Don't worry if this shift doesn't happen overnight. This type of mindfulness can feel hard or strange at first, and so many of our thoughts are automatic. Be patient. As with other parts of your journey, the more you practice, the easier it can become. Ain't that the truth? One fast fact. Thoughts are not facts. Did you hear me? Thoughts are not facts. So that is the weekly topic. Tell me your thoughts below. You know, it's that rented space, isn't it? It's like when somebody does something to you, says something to you, and they go on with their day. But they're still living in your mind, and it's there over and over again, and you're thinking about, well, I should have did this, or I'm going to get back at them, or whatever the situation. They're not losing sleep, and they're living rent-free in your brain. That's kind of what they're saying with your thoughts to yourself. So it's like the 2 days in a row that we ate out, and then I got sick because I ate out for 2 days in a row. And I could have very easily said, what's the use? It's the old habits. This is the way it's going to be. You know, why even bother? The next day is weighing, and, you know, you should have stood your ground and say, no, I don't want this. But instead, you gave in to him, your husband. But instead, I said, I can pick something less points. We went to McDonald's the second day, and instead of getting that Big Mac and that large fry and that large Diet Coke, I didn't get a Diet Coke, and I got a kid's fry, and I think I got a McDouble. And I did have points for all of that, and I even had leftover weekly points for all of that. Even like eating that Applebee's, like I told you, there was, you know, because I had ate so well up to that point, I had low point stuff up to that point. And so there was no sense of sitting there beating myself up, because you know what? Number one, our daughter and her husband were down, and they wanted to take us out to eat, and it was a beautiful time with them. And we just had a lovely visit. It was not about the food. We just ordered what we wanted, and we just sat there and chit-chatted, and it had nothing to do with, oh my gosh, this is going to be point heavy. I didn't even think of that, because I was so tickled to be in their presence. And then we were so busy the next day in the garden and in different things and canning and all that stuff, and we both were hurting, and nobody wanted to cook because I was still finishing up applesauce. But it was just the idea that, you know, I had a productive day, and life happens. And, you know, like Jerry said to me, he says, I guess we're going to have to be a little bit more proactive on having meals to throw out that we can eat here. But life happens, and so we should enjoy that. Got back up on it the next day, and I started all over again with what I'm eating and stuff like that. We didn't go out to eat for lunch today. Instead, we came home and ate a later lunch. So there is that win-win. So I am trying to kick those rent-free renters out of my head as soon as I enter, and you should too. So anyways, thanks again, my friends, and thanks for watching, and look for my daily vlog. Hint, hint, it's going to be a little long today because I do show you some acquisitions that I got and stuff like that. So thanks again. See you next Wednesday on my weekly topic or on my daily vlog.